What's going on? How you doing? Just getting started. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Texas, what's happening, brother? Happy Friday. How am I sounding? How are the comms? Good on your side. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Felix, what's up? We're going to be doing some Black Friday because it is Black Friday. And although we have the live stream later on tonight, I know that there wasn't an episode yesterday. So, now the sun's deciding to set. Perfect. I know that there was an episode. There wasn't an episode yesterday because Thanksgiving and also recordings and whatnot. So I wanted to come on and do a quick one for all of you and the channel. Kind of go over questions and comments and stuff like that. Anything that has been going on. I know that a lot of people saw Cigar Show Tim's post, so you all probably already have heard or know yourselves that everybody in the cigar game essentially that was monetized on YouTube is now demonetized, which is not a new thing, but is new for this year, I guess. But we could talk about whatever, including this cigar, if I can ever get the footband off. This footband is on here tight. I smoked one of these before even receiving the 2024, which is what I wanted to smoke today, but I was like, you know what, it's been waiting long enough. The 2024 is a little bit bigger. Favorite cigar for cigar of the year? Well, that's going to come out next month. Almost now this month, but it's going to come out next month. And I think there's some front runners for sure. There's definitely the Atabey Black, the Lampert Limitada 2023. Just off the top of my head, the Warped Isla de Cocodrillo. I think the La Comina 10th is going to be. What's up, Psychopathic? Happy Black Friday. Those are all going to be, front runners for that cigar of the year. Yeah, I mean, it's embedded in the culture of the world, man. This is how videos get out. This is how channels get known. It's a necessary thing. Some would call it a necessary evil at this point. But yeah, it looks like they hit tobacco, marijuana, and alcohol pretty hardcore this week. I haven't checked in with any of the friends that I have that do alcohol channels to see if they got demonetized, but that's going to be my next thing. I'm going to actually text one of them right now, my buddy that does Master Your Glass, where the name kind of was inspired by. And then we'll talk about this cigar. And the other stuff. See if he gets back to me with an answer. I mean, as it stands, the ad revenue, I know that Tim posted about what he was getting paid out, but I mean the ad revenue is so small. It's just a nice thing to have. It's like maybe 3 to 5% of what a normal channel would get anyway. Sorry, I'm reading them and not actually posting them. Yeah, that's true too. There's less and less people, and even when you look at the creators that actually make a living doing creative videos, it's far and few between those that can actually support it as a full-time or even a part-time gig. It's crazy. Yeah, that's why I gotta like vehemently go over the list because you get those cigars, man, that you just don't even name off them. The funniest thing is that I was at Thanksgiving last night with some friends, and the bronze back was actually the cigar that I brought and smoked. I smoked one last night, And I forgot to mention that. But yeah, that will definitely, you know, be heading up the lower ring gauge side of the list. I know that AZ asked us in the live stream too if we were going to be doing any Cubans in the list. And like the problem with Cubans is that I feel as though I don't smoke them, year after. I should turn on the fan. I feel as though I don't smoke them like consistently enough with new releases and stuff that it's so hard to rate them amongst the new world cigars. Yeah, it's already a live stream fail for not turning on the fan. Jesus. Hold on. Let's see if I can reach this damn thing. Hold on. 1 second. Sun, fan. That's light. All right. There we go. See if we can get it to a good pace here and doesn't disrupt the camera. All right. That should be a little bit better. Camera looks okay. Just to get some of the smoke out of here. Hey, Steve. Dog 1, dog 2. Door closes. Okay, we're good now. Afternoon, Steve. How you doing? Oh, you have the Sarto now? I just picked one up the other day. And that's also, going back to it, let's see. Last year you did big and small ring gauges. Yes, I did. I think I did it for the last 2 years. Or at least the mid-year. The mid-year last year, the end of year, and then the mid-year this year. So that's 3 videos I think where consistently I changed it to large and small ring gauges. I need to stop letting my Mac change the brightness on my screen because the sun is bothering it. All right, so jumping into the HVC Black Friday, and then we'll get more into cigars of the year and all of our bullshit with demonetization. So Mexican San Andres, right? Nicaraguan binder and filler, 56 ring gauge, 4.5 inches, right, in length, 980 MSRP, boxes of 50. And I believe that the major difference, besides the size this year, it being longer at 5 7/8 and a 52 ring gauge, is it's made at the same factory, right? They have Ometepe as the feature, right? And then San Andres wrapper, Nicaraguan tobacco. But the defining tobacco is Ometepe and the filler. So we'll do like a full review on that one just to have it as this year's edition, and then we'll do this one as the live. That's how I kind of figured it. But yeah, big and small, and then Steve, the Sarto. I have that one ready to go as well from good old Warped. I agree. There's a lot about the sponsorships and so on and so forth. It's hard, right? Because for the sponsors, they want you to be able to promote them as well as the cigars, and then you end up running the risk of having your whole entire thing deleted because you're promoting it, as opposed to those of us that are not promoting the sale, but yet we still get struck down by the YouTube overlords because of the fact that you're just promoting tobacco content. So that's always the tough thing, right? Because you want to take on sponsorships and partnerships and so on and so forth, but you can't promote a place to actually purchase, because once you cross that line, you're out of the gray area in their eyes, and you're eligible for, being removed. I feel like the move really is based off of what I've seen with the increase in Discord and with community, with Cigars Unbanded guys, with Hound Dog, with my own personal Discord that I do for my Patreon people. I feel like the community aspect is really, and it always has been, kind of the way to go. And just being able to offer things that you can't offer off of the YouTube platform. It's just about conveying the message to where it's worthwhile for the people to check it out and to try it out. And I think that that's really where the lean in has to be moving forward throughout next year, is just cultivating the people like yourselves that are willing to just, you know, see that I'm doing a live stream and go, hey, what cigar is he smoking? What's he up to today? On a Black Friday, right? Random. Or the people like yourselves that also join in the new wave live streams, join in the unbanded live streams, just creating that extra element of community and being able to offer the things that we can't through the partnerships and the sponsorships once again, right? And then the community aspect. I think that's really where it's at moving forward next year. So right off the bat, this thing starts out with a significant amount of spice. And I did so we posted the last review was the Encore Black, and then after that I smoked for next week is going to be the Padron BP 97 Maduro, which is also the black, right? For Padron. That thing started off with an intense amount of spice too, like this one for sure. Medium plus right off the bat, chocolate notes, a little bit of earthiness here and there. I mean, it's almost identical for a $9 MSRP or $9.80. The shitty part too about this year's release, as opposed to this one from last year, is that the MSRP jumped up $3 or almost $3. But longer smoke time, a little bit bigger of a stick. I get it. Ometepe, whether you like that or not. Mm. Yeah, man. It's got the same amount of smoke volume too. Fan's not helping, or only helping a minimal amount. So I hope that you all had a wonderful Jesus. Sorry, whenever I start these things up, they always want to go out, come back, go out, come back. But they'll settle down in a minute. I hope that everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope that you all had some fun, ate a lot. I know that I did. Didn't really do much for Black Friday. I went to Costco because I had to pick up medicine for my dog, and then I came back here to do this today. So, you know, that was about it. Costco was light. That was easy. All the shopping malls next to it and everything were packed. Can't imagine going out there. My first job was working at Best Buy, and I remember I did 3 Black Fridays. Yeah, that was craziness, especially back then, where I feel as though there was a little bit more of an incentive for people to actually go to the stores to get the deals. Now with Amazon and all that other stuff, you can pretty much like get whatever you need to online and just have it shipped to your house. Hmm. But back in the day, though, oof, we used to have people knock over display cases, people fighting over different doorbusters. I mean, it was like the wild, wild west back in the day. Yeah, that's really the move, you know, like, and most of the time the deals too that they're offering in store or online for that matter are just like they they take whatever the standard retail price was and they inflate it, and then they show you the sale price and it's like, you know, that thing that I was thinking about buying was actually cheaper or it was the same price, right? So it's lost a lot of its luster from back in the day because when I was there it was like 2002, 2004. Yeah, something like that. So it was a while ago. Has anybody tried the HVC for this year? Anybody with the Ometempe that has anything to report? Any feedback? This thing's starting to settle down though, now that we're actually a few minutes in. As well as the sun. Hmm. Nope. I know, Steve. You usually get to stuff before I do most of the time, but I get it if HVC isn't on everybody's radar. It's kind of like a I don't know. A lot of their stuff, like their 500th, that had a very Cuban-esque kind of flavor to it. I remember I liked that one a lot. That was a review that I posted a long time ago, and then Cigar Hound Dog was nice enough to hook me up with more of those. That was one that I really enjoyed. There were some other ones too that I tried, like the hot cake, that I just felt as though was more aggressive, shorter version of the Black Friday, at least from the Black Fridays that I've smoked. So there's a couple in there. They do okay. But yeah, dollar for dollar, it's going to be really hard for some of the sticks to compete with the bronze back, especially in that lower ring gauge, because there's just so many expensive ones out now that people aren't, they're not doing a lot with the core lines as much. I feel like it's all about the LEs, it's all about the one offs, the things that they can put out as singular expressions that are a little bit more limited, or they're a little bit more exclusive and they charge a premium for it. And some of them are great. Like the Atabey Black is fantastic. It's a great stick. But with a $50 MSRP, it, once again, lowers the amount of people that can afford it and that are willing to actually spend it on it. So we have, did we already have football today? Football started at noon, right? Yeah. Oh, it's right at the end. Look at that. The Raiders giving the Chiefs hell, huh? Or the Chiefs can't get out of their own way. One or the other. Yeah, so tonight we're actually going to have a special guest. I believe that it's DJ's neighbor. He started up his own channel, so we're going to have him as a guest. That should be fun. I don't know what we're smoking just yet. I have no idea. Once again, was out at the store. I think that they talked about us just like freestyling tonight, hanging out, and then we were also going to let him pick. It's going to be a little cold. Probably going to need something a bit more than the sweater. Because out here in Vegas right now, it's like 56 and sunny, but it'll be about 47 when we start the live stream. Ugh. Damn. Yeah, we're going to need the space heater. We're going to need a hoodie or something, jacket. I'm honestly concerned about the Ometepe because this thing starts off with quite a bit of earthiness to it. It's got a lot of chocolate going on too. Spices died out. It's nice and balanced now. But yeah, that Ometepe might set it over the edge for me. You got your ball? Yeah, I know. You want somebody to throw that thing. I get it. 47 and Raleigh, yeah. Well, North Carolina, man. Tobacco Road gets that way. But it's got to get chilly at night. What is it, like in the 20s or 30s? Yeah, it's still probably like 7 or an 8 out of 10. Doesn't sting, but there's definitely like some extra nicotine that you get off of this thing. It's got some power. Ooh, nice. It's always a good one. I tried the new Lancero that Sanch just is getting ready to launch. It was okay. I have to smoke it again just to see, because it was after our last live stream, the one that we did, Cigars Unbanded folks, and yeah, I just couldn't get like a good finger on it. Couldn't get the pulse of that stick and figure out really how it was hitting on my palate. Yeah. Dude, if I lived in a place that was colder, I think that I would invest in the fishing tent. I think that that's just the way to go. Like the setup that Pete over at Unbanded has, absolutely, man. You got to have like your own little spot. My buddy out in Texas, Sam, who's works for Crux, he's got his own little, tent and everything with a space heater in it. I think that's a must. Yeah, 25 in Ohio. No, no, man, can't do it. Eesh. Yeah, like you have to, because then your hands start freezing, you start freezing. When you're not up and moving around, it's tough. I mean, if I'm being honest, if I'm being totally honest about not having reviews up on a couple of Thursdays this past month and a half, it's definitely been like life being busy, but it's also been like, it once the temperature drops to a certain point really fast out here, it's like your body has to catch up and acclimate. And then I'm just like, man, I can't smoke right now. It's way too damn cold, you know? So that's another thing. Just like kind of getting the cadence for how to do it each year. It takes a minute. And then I try to backlog enough reviews to where there's stuff for everybody and yeah, stuff. Where are you moving? Going a little bit further east into the desert, like like Arizona. The only problem with that is they get hotter than we do in Vegas. I can't do that either. That's a little bit too much. Florida. Oh, so you're going full time zone change. Okay. Yeah, it'll definitely be warmer in Florida. There's no doubt about that. And it's always cigar smoking weather in Florida. Very envious of that. I have a couple of cousins that live in St. Augustine. Yeah, there's that too. We definitely found out recently about what states are where and how everybody feels about that stuff. I mean, it's been well known ever since 2020, but yeah, we definitely found it even more so like kind of how everything's going with that too. But yeah, my cousins have been in St. Augustine. They've been in Florida for forever. They moved out of New Jersey probably 1990, 1991, probably a year after my parents moved out of New Jersey. And they were always in either Orlando, Jacksonville, St. Augustine, somewhere in Florida. And then for my company, we would always have the WSWA, which is the World Spirits Association. They would switch between Vegas and Orlando. So 1 year, and just bounce back and forth. So for the last 9 years, I think that I competed in their mixology competition once, and then my colleague competed twice, and I helped before I competed. So 2015 through about 2019, I was in Orlando every other year, basically, just for that one trade show. Always had a good time. Hmm. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, this thing was dry boxing for a minute. We started this, and this bad boy was like at 54, I think was the RH on it, which I think the foot was really, really dry on this thing. Normally a little bit drier than I like to smoke at, but I figured we've had decent humidity in Vegas, which is unlike us because it's been so cloudy and it like somewhat rained over the last couple of days. Yeah, like it's at 24% now, but we were at 40 and 48, which is double for like the last 5 days. It was awesome. That's one thing that does suck about the desert too. It's how dry it is, your skin and everything. Just sucks. Florida, completely different story. But it's still a nice expressive stick. Like I said, there's more nicotine now in this first third as we're kind of inching towards the middle of it. And we've been doing this now for 26 minutes. We chatted it up for a little while before that, but we got what would appear to be a nice hour and 20 minutes left on this bad boy. So that's fun. Alrighty, let's see. More stuff about the HVC. So this was 600 boxes of 50 cigars, 30,000 cigars. That's wild. That's a lot. And half wheel looked like they gave it an 87. That's pretty good considering half wheel, right? It's not bad. 4.5 by 56 Petite Gordo. Yeah, it looks like they've kind of increased it every year since 2015. They started off with just 5,000 cigars in 2015, and they're doing 400 cabinets for this year's release. So that's cool. HVC, man, growing. I like it. That's got to be the episode for this year. I don't know if Carpenter's already done it, but somebody needs to just do like the entire black releases: Black Friday, the Padron Black, the Padron Black, the Atabey Black, like all of them, Encore Black, everything. Just a black cigar shootout. That's got to be a thing. Yeah, so my buddy that runs his channel seems like he's still on the alcohol side at least monetized. So that's cool. I was like, I needed to text him earlier. I have tried the Charisma. Which one? I did what was my last Sanj stick that I reviewed? Was it the silver? I think that was it. Yeah, we did the silver in September. So we'll do a review of the Charisma this month for December. And yeah, get to that. I wasn't blown away, honestly, with the first one that I smoked, but I also wasn't blown away with the SP1014 India, which is coming out. And I wasn't blown away, like I said, after the last live stream with the what's up, Carpenter? I wasn't blown away. See, I said his name and then he appears. I said, Mike, that you should do the black shootout if you haven't already had it on deck, where you just do the Atabey Black, the Encore Black, the Padron Black, the Black Friday, like everything black, just across the board. But anyway, so the most recent Sanj releases, right? They've tasted a little fresh. They've tasted like they needed some time, and I wanted to give the Charisma a fair shot. So we'll backlog that for December and smoke it then again, because I feel like every single time I kind of default because of Hound Dog and Sanj being so generous, right? Like I always have extras of those. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it after a live stream. And then I don't get like the full experience like I get now from just sitting down and actually reviewing the stick, talking through it. Yeah. I mean, it could be that they're just fresh. Could be that, he blew us away with the first releases so much, and these ones seem a little underwhelming. It's hard to consistently, I mean, like a Crowned Heads, like it's hard to consistently put out banger after banger after banger. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes, right? What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? Raiders missed the go-ahead. Yeah. Well, the Chiefs have that way of. Matt's not around, is he? Cigar Hound Dog in the comments. The Chiefs have this way of lucking out on some wins, man. I don't believe in the refs thing as much, but they do get some calls here or there. But they have this way of just like teams not being ready for that moment to beat them. A lot like the Patriots. When you have those dynasty teams, sometimes they just kind of luck into some victories, whether it be in the Super Bowl or not, or just in playoff games or regular season. There are teams that I feel like they magnify the moment. Are you listening to me? You got me, buddy? I mean, I can't see my dog, but he's right here. There are teams that just kind of like they make the moment out to be so much bigger than it is because it's like, yeah, we can beat them, and then they miss a kick or a crucial fumble or something like that. That's just how it goes. Yeah, yeah. That's you're talking about the HVC Black Friday for this year, 2024. So I'm smoking the 23 right now, and it's pretty damn tasty. But there you go, from the man. I would agree with all those too. I just smoked the Padron 2 days ago. It was really good. Really, really good. I can't next week my review on that will drop. It was really solid. It's tough with a $40 MSRP, but it's right there. Snowman. Yeah. It's been about a good 8 years before or since we've gotten any out here, any that stuck for a day. But that was pretty cool. About 8, 9 years ago. No, actually I think it was the ones that actually stuck were longer than that. It was damn near like 15 years ago when the whole entire Luxor was white. You could see the photos on Google. But yeah, that was dope. Doug, it was the Padron BP97 Maduro, also known as the Padron Black. That will be the one that gets released next week. Because I have the new pack from Luxury, which I want to go over, but being that YouTube does what they do, it's like I'll just post that to Rumble and the website and stuff like that. Like it'll just be my own personal stuff. I'll let the Patreon members know and all the people that are in Discord know, but like those unboxings that I do from the sponsorship, I have to take them off of YouTube basically because after they demonetized us, it's like there's no way that they're going to allow that stuff to fly. Yeah, who knows about the natural, right? Like the Maduro's so good though. I I would smoke the natural next. I would. It's probably pretty good. It's just like if you're going to spend the same $40, take the guarantee. It's kind of the tough part. Mm. Give me one sec. I'm going to go check and see what my dog is looking at because I think that my cat is in the tree. Hold on. Yeah, we'll check on him in a minute. He's in the middle of the tree. He likes climbing this one tree that hangs over my neighbor's yard. Alrighty. 1964. Which size did you smoke? That was out of all the Padrones. Like when I first started my journey, that was the one that really spoke to me. It was the Diplomaticos, man, in natural, not even Maduro. Really, really loved that stick way back in the day. I also loved in the 1926 the 35, which was the small little one with coffee in the morning in natural, or Maduro. 1926, number 35, Padron. Yeah, 4x48 Robusto, kind of like in a similar size range to these guys. Yeah, the Toro, nice. Really solid stuff. Okay, so now we're getting a lot more sweetness off of this. Now that we're like finishing up the first third, we're getting like some brown sugar, some molasses notes, some like rum raisin. This is good. Still got a lot of spice on the retro, but it's like, not stinging the nostrils. It's all right. But yeah, there's a little bit of the minerality still. There's a touch of the brown sugar, like cocoa, almost hot cocoa kind of thing, working with the spice. I dig it. Dig it. My buddy just asked me, "How do you know if you're demonetized?" That's funny. Yeah, no, it's nice. It's reminding me a lot of like the Drew Estate in the Underground 10. Also, a little bit of the more recent Padron Black that I smoked a lot. But yeah, so we're gonna chill tonight. Try not to freeze our balls off, and enjoy some smokes with, I believe, Ape Cigars is his channel. Let me do the proper thing and plug him. Right, Ape Herf, I believe it is. Yeah, he's got 23 subscribers, so we'll share his channel out right now. Copy, and I'll put it in the comments in case anybody wants to check him out. Oh, that. Okay, so you got to add that to. Hold on. Disregard. There we go. That's better. Alrighty. So you guys can click on that. Follow Ape, also known as Sal. Yeah, so we're coming up on the halfway mark, about 40 minutes in. Just moving through the second third. This thing is damn delicious. I want coffee. This is not coffee, unfortunately. My wife, she had some leftover turkey broth from the bird, so I started off with that, which was warm when we started, and now it's like, eh. Eric, I am pairing my cigar with turkey broth and water right now. It was better when it was warm and we first started. Now that it's cold, it's like, eh, I just want to like muscle through it and have coffee. But besides coffee, if I was drinking alcohol, yeah, it is quite the combo. It actually tastes really good. I've done it on a few sticks because I've been trying to get in a little bit more collagen because when you're 38 years old and you look older than that, it's kind of shitty. So we've been utilizing more of the cooking of the broth bones and like creating our own broth because we cook for our dogs. So we basically do like a whole chicken for both of them because they're two big shepherds. So we do a whole chicken roast every week for them. And then we take the bones and we put that in a crock pot after they dehydrate and we, mix that up with water and stuff like that and make our own broth in house at the house. So we've been doing that pretty regularly. And yeah, I had a ton of coffee this morning, so I was just like, let me switch things up. But if I was going to pair it with alcohol, which is really where we're getting at, rum, definitely with that rum raisin for sure. All of the the ports, the sherries, all that fun stuff. This could also do well with like maybe some agave to play off of the minerality, especially something with some barrel aged notes, kind of play off the spices, because there's a decent amount of baking spice on it for sure on the retro. And I think that it would be fun as hell to have some agave, some cooked agave with all of the chocolate on it. That would probably be just off of the initial like first third into the second third where I would start with. Like I could see bourbon working too. Maybe not scotch, but definitely the American single malts, the bourbons, some ryes. Be nice. I think that tonight we have to have some drinks tonight. Celebration of Black Friday. Oh, really? Well, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oh, wow. Yeah, the last update that I'm looking at, it was a fumble by the Raiders, and then the Chiefs got the ball back. Tell you what, man. As a Giants fan, we can't look into anything. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, High West, man. They've got some fun stuff, dude. They really do. The pairing, to let you guys know, for the Padron was Jefferson's Pritchard Hill in the Cabernet casks. So that was a fun one. I don't think that I've done the Pritchard Hill by Jefferson's before. I think that the only Jeffersons that I've done have been the Oceans, right? I hate YouTube search sometimes. I know that I've paired a Jefferson's before. But yeah, I'll have to go back through when I edit it, see, let let everybody know what the hell I was talking about. But yeah, no, High West has got a lot of good stuff coming out. They also have access to a lot of great barrels because of the fact that it's supplied by Constellation. So there's a lot of like Rodney Strong barrels, a lot of really fun Nap Cab barrels, and different things that they get to play around with. It's one of the reasons why Casa Noble's changed a lot too, because they're also part of that same supplier, so they get access to some really fun French oak barrels. Just as a tip, the next time that you're looking at tequilas, Casa Noble's got a lot of fun stuff. And now the spice is like right there at that 6. It's not too striking on the upper respiratory. Sweetness is still there. Chocolate notes are still there. Like if you really wanted to pair this thing up like with some Belgian chocolate or some Swiss chocolate, dark chocolate, and then like port, that would be like dynamite. Beers. Well, I mean, like, so I love beer. I absolutely love it. I think that, you can go all the way from the stouts, the oatmeal stouts, the Guinness stouts, all that fun stuff, and you can work your way, especially with the Maduro cigars, because there's all that coffee that you normally get off of them. There's the chocolate. All of those pair well with the stouts because it's very complimentary. But you could also play with like the saisons. You can play with the Belgian whites and the Belgian golden ales. Those are fun. And like right now, Delirium Noel's out, Delirium Red. There's like there's a ton of good Belgian beers for Christmas every single year. The Trappist ales are another good one. Like any of that stuff, if you get into that on the beer side, like if you're just drinking Bud heavy, then that's one thing. And like High Life, which I love, but yeah, it's like if you really go down like the craft beer rabbit hole, you can get into some stuff that'll pair well with a lot of sticks. I mean, I think that regular Delirium or like Chimay, just standard white label, those pair really well with almost everything. It's kind of like when I talk about wine and I always default to champagne with Cubans, like those Belgian beers, they pair with a lot of solid sticks, especially the more robust ones. Mm, well, that's cool. I mean, if they have a Belgian style, they have a stout, if they have, something that's more of a European craft beer style, then, a Trappist ale, a Saison, something like that. Like you can dive into that pretty hardcore. Yeah. And most do. Most do. There was one of our beers downtown. I have a video of it. I think that I paired it with the Jose, with the Hoya Antonio, Connecticut. It was the strawberry mochi beer. So damn good with a Connecticut shade. Like some of those like really crazy flavored beers like that, they pair so good with Connecticut shades. It is astounding. Like absolutely delicious. You get something that has like a little bit of flavor. It doesn't matter if it's something out there like lychee or mango or tropical, and then you pair it with a shade wrapper. Oh, so damn good. What's the name of the local brewery? If you care to shout them out. Scotty, what's up? Welcome, welcome. We're gonna have to do a cat in the tree check here in another minute. So silly. Mm. Sawdust City. Okay. I'm guessing that they have a website that has all their beers on it. So you know what I'm gonna do? Sawdust City Brewery Brewing. Mm. Okay. Okay. Nice. This is cool. The Lone Pine West Coast IPA. So the West Coast IPA with Connecticut's 100%. Absolutely love that pairing. That's one of my favorites. Let's see here. The brewery. What our latest release is the White Tulip. This sounds interesting. Okay, can't see it. Belgian style wit beer. Okay, perfect. So there you go. Boom. Belgian style wit beer. The Tulip. Do it. Do it all day. How's the cigar going? So the cigar is really, really good. Once we hit the second third, the spice died down just a little bit to the point where we could get a full like balance to the blend. And then we got more chocolate, a subtle sweetness, almost like a molasses kind of on the back end, or rum raisin kind of flavor came out. And then we've had just a mixture of a little bit of minerality, but not too much. Maybe not as much as the Ometepe in this year's release. Just the right amount. Chocolate, obviously, a little bit of hot cocoa, some spice here and there. Overall, just really, really good, especially for the winter time, especially in Mexican San Andres wrapper. Like it's definitely restrained enough. It has the right amount of balance. Everything's working well. I dig it. It's going to be really hard when I review this year's release and actually do that as like a non-live review, most likely, because this one is quite delicious. And then we were just talking about beer styles with Eric for pairing. Being that I'm over here drinking water and bone broth. That's my pairing today. All right, I'm going to check on the cat. I'll be right back. Still up in the tree. Checking out all the neighbors. Such a strange one. Figure that we'll have probably about 15, 20 minutes. We'll end this a little bit after the hour. So I guess, yeah, it's about an hour long smoke. Not bad. And then we'll be back on in another 3 hours or so with all the fellas. Smoking whatever we're going to smoke. I need to ask them what the deal is with that. I think DJ said that he wanted to smoke a Definition cigar tonight. So maybe we'll start with something from Definition. But yeah, I'm already cold after an hour just being out here. But thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Like I said, we'll keep it going for about another 15, 20 at the most, and then be back on later. I appreciate all of you, all 16 to 20 of you in the house. Yeah, man. I hope that you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you had the opportunity to smoke something good, hang out with the friends and family, eat well, all that fun stuff. And then I hope that none of you had to shop today for Black Friday, because that shit is highly overrated. It's just in my own personal opinion. Oh. Yeah, and then giveaways for this month. So for the Patreon members, I should have everything posted up tomorrow, and we're going to do 2 for the members of Patreon. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Patreon, we do have a Patreon for the channel, and that also has access to the Discord as well as the giveaways at the end of every month. We're going to do 2 this month for Thanksgiving and for the holidays. And then I'll probably do 2 next month as well, because it's Christmas and New Year's, and that's just fun. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got caught up at the store on Monday. I had to take my dad shopping to Trader Joe's and a couple of other places, and that was an absolute train wreck. And then I went shopping the day before on Sunday during the day. That also sucked. So it was like the week leading up to it that was terrible out here. Do I smoke darts? By darts, no. By cigarettes, no, I do not. The Mayflower. So this one keeps on coming up in conversation, I feel like. I have not seen it, I believe. I don't even know what it looks like. I'm gonna look it up. Mayflower. Hmm. The Mayflower. Looks cool, but no, I have not tried it. Dawn and Dusk. You know, there was a brand by the name of Artista, right? The Buffalo 10 cigar makers. They did the Harvest and the Moon or whatever for autumn and day and night. That was a good stick that they had to like rebrand and kind of wait to release. And I feel like all of the traction that it had last year after PCA or the year before even at PCA was just lost. But they're a good brand. They make good sticks and at a reasonable price. Oh, you're fine, Scotty. Hmm, that's super cool. Yeah, I mean, you could have called them the thing that they call them in the UK. Yeah, so we're in the final third now, and typically, you know, most cigars take a step back. This one, spice is picking back up. We're not. at like this unbalanced minerality or anything like that, which I really appreciate, especially with the last few black Maduro style cigars, like the Encore Black. That thing got really, really minerally in the final third, and it ruined how good the second third was on that stick in a lot of ways. So that's why it didn't get as high of a rating as possible. But UK does have some really good swear words. And things that they just get to say, like the C word and everything else, they get to own those. But with this particular stick, we're getting a little bit of chocolate brownie now in the final third. It's like the mixture, it's where all of that coalescing happens between, I feel like, the chocolate flavors and the minerality. On good sticks, this is where, like, the ones that don't take a step back, they really shine because it ends up evolving from what was like hot cocoa or chocolate with a little bit of minerality into like this more nuanced kind of like brownie note, or it has like texture to it that you can taste. And that's where, like, even though it sounds like a crazy flavor expression, like that's what how I relate it. So the ones that don't take a step back, like this one isn't, they have another kind of flavor set they move into, where all of the flavors that we were picking up through the first third and the second third, they end up becoming something still really tasty and good, and not something off-putting like in the Encore Black. Muzzle loader. That's a hell of a name for a cigar. Gotta love Matt Booth. I was sad because I saw him out here for Big Smoke last month, or I should say this month. It was at the beginning of this month. I saw him for like a minute, and we chit chatted for a couple of minutes. I had to come back though for the live stream, so I didn't even smoke a cigar at Big Smoke. I went in there. I dropped off my two buddies that work on the alcohol side with me, and I just told them, like, hey, go see Fuente, go see Padron, go see Rocky first, because those are going to be the booths that fill up once general admission comes in. And then I just beelined it for Sanj and Matt Booth, and that was it. I said hi to those two. I said hi to Innocent from Big Guilty and Sanjay's shop and Matty Rock and all those folks that he had out with him. And then, like, 10 minutes later, I was out the door and headed back here to do the live stream with homie from Blackbird. Yeah, they have a fun relationship though. For PCA this year, I was talking with Booth, and or actually, was it PCA or was it no, it wasn't PCA, was it? It was Total Product Expo, TPE. For TPE, I was talking with Booth. We walked over to Caldwell's booth, and they were just sitting there in the cheap little stadium chairs that you buy whenever you're going to go camping or whatever, just, the ones with the cups on the side. So they were just sitting there in that eating peanuts and throwing the shells on the ground, and that was their booth. They didn't really have any sticks. They were just there, just hanging out, smoking cigars. Like, they had stuff to hand out, but they didn't have like a table or anything. The booth wasn't even set up, Caldwell. And he's just sitting there, and Matt and I go there, and he's like, hey, you met Mike over at Master Your Ash before? I say, hi, whatever. Hi, Robert. How you doing? Congratulations on the company, and so on and so forth. And he's just like, yeah, it's all fun and games. But he's a different dude. Caldwell's funny. Yeah, so we'll hang out about another 5, make sure the cigar doesn't go to shit, and we'll be good. Overall, these are absolutely 5-pack worthy. Overall impression, 5-pack worthy stick, no doubt. These are fantastic. I'm excited to smoke the 2024, even though it has a little bit of Batepe in it. Hopefully not too much. Well, the thing is that just because it's a dark wrapper, like, might not hit you over the head. I'll be all right. Let's look up this Room 101 muzzle loader. Oh, that seems fine. That's the collaboration between Camacho and Room 101, from what I'm reading. That's a funny ass band, though. That's cool. The 660s are tough for me to get into, man. They really are. There's a few out there that are really good. Yeah, for my hat, gotta like grab a bigger size or something. This thing's burrowing into my forehead. Gotta go to Red Mark. Mr. Cigars, appreciate it, brother. Long ashes to you as well. Gonna do my very best as long as YouTube will have me here. As long as YouTube will have me here, we'll keep it rolling. You know, just trying to smoke cigars and offer pairing recommendations, man. That's it. It's crazy. It's wild, but we do what we do. Scotty, I've had like this asylum org that I was going to smoke on Halloween 3 years ago. It's just been chilling in my humidor, and I can't bring myself to do it. Like every single live stream, like tonight, right? There will be an opportunity where I could smoke the org. And every single time I pick it up, I'm like, man, I'm going to be on camera with this thing. It's just a bad look. But alas. Well, that sucks. But I hope that everything works out with your new kidney. And, best of luck on that because that can be scary as hell. And, congrats for making it through on the other side with no problems so far, man. But on the mend, I get it. Sometimes we got to take a little bit of time off. I talked a little bit about, my sinus thing that I had redone. And I tell you what, not smoking a cigar for 2 weeks, it certainly set me behind with the channel. But it was well worth it because I feel like not only do I pick out more flavors, but I also get such better sleep. Like I really do. It was so worth it. And it wasn't even like that invasive because it was just the balloon procedure to kind of clear out your sinuses. And then they did like a little bit of reshaping of the cartilage on the inside of my right nostril because that had been like pushed a little bit and it almost splintered in some ways. But dude, like it sucks to take time off, but it's also a good thing. You give your body a chance to kind of reset. And then when you get back to smoking, you just the nicotine hits you a little bit at first and you kind of, rebuild up the tolerance a little bit and then you're good to go. It's all good. The beauty about cigars, right, is that they only get better most of the time. Most of the time. They usually only get better the longer that you let them wait. And then also it saves you, if you're smoking a lot of cigars, it saves you some money too for a month or two in your case. But yeah, that's a good thing. It's funny, the friends that we went over to visit last night for Thanksgiving were outside smoking, and I had given one of those new Diamond Crowns to my buddy Sam to smoke. And then I was smoking a bronze back, as I stated before. And we were talking about breathing is underrated. Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're sleeping. That's key. Because waking up, not because you're like trying to catch your breath, but because you can't really like breathe through your nostrils or like sleeping on my back, I couldn't do it. So now it's fantastic. But I was smoking a bronze back. He was smoking the Diamond Crown, and he was telling me because he had given up drinking. He's an older dude, probably in his mid 60s now. He was like, I gave up drinking, and this is really my only vice. And I'm like, well, that's a good one to have. Really, all you have to do is just make sure your teeth are clean, and for the most part, the cigar should be okay. But yeah. Yeah, a 660 makes a good yard gar, I guess. I don't know. It's tough because I feel like with the 660s, right? It's easier for them to not have a lot of flavor. because there's a lot of filler tobacco in there. There's a lot more just overall tobacco to kind of take away from some additional flavors that you might pick up in a smaller ring gauge. So I don't know. It's hard for me to, I guess, if you're not trying to pay attention to it, but like, I like a bronze back when I'm doing shit around the yard too. Like, or just an umbagog in general. Like, I don't know, like getting the extra flavor. This would be good. Yeah, we could smoke this all the way down to the nub. The only problem with that is that we have dogs to walk, and then I got to be back for the live stream. So, but yeah, this solid, definitely 5-pack worthy. If not, box worthy. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, $3 less a stick than the 2024 release. If you can still find a 10 count of the, well, see, that's the shitty part. They come in 50 count cabinets. But yeah, 5-pack. Forget about what I was saying. We'll just cancel that. I remember when La Gloria Cubana Serie R's, when they came out with the Humidor in 2008, I want to say, when they came out with those Humidors, they were like $30 a stick or $35 a stick. They were like cabinet humidors of 50. They were individually serial numbered. They were gigantic. But they were like $30 a stick back then in 2007, 2008. I mean, the Lanceros, they always they sometimes deliver too much flavor, right? Like sometimes that's a thing too. Like if you smoke a Tabernacle by Foundation Lancero, sometimes it's too overpowering. Sometimes it's like too much for you. And you're just like, damn, this thing is beating the shit out of me because it's so bold. But a Lancero can make a tough yard guard too, because the fact that like if you smoke it too fast, or if you smoke it not fast enough, that thing's either going to go out or it's going to burn like shit. So yeah, with Lanceros, I feel as though that it's more about the conditions that you're smoking in. Like if you're in a controlled environment, it's not too windy, it's not too cold, it's not too hot, right? Because you smoke it a little quick because it tastes good, it starts to heat up, you're in a really hot place. Like if I'm out here and it's 95 degrees or 100 degrees and I'm trying to smoke a Lancero, I mean, that thing, the potential of me having a bad experience is very, very high. I like Lanceros when I'm honestly smoking indoors at a lounge with friends. That's normally when I like smoking Lanceros the most because it's not too overwhelming to the indoor experience, right? To where like there's usually too much smoke or too little smoke. It's the right amount. You can get through it in a reasonable amount of time. And then you also have the added benefit of having the temperature and everything being very, very pro Lancero in that environment. When I'm out here and it's like too windy or it's too hot, which is typically how Vegas goes, right? Because it's a valley, it ends up burning crooked or you end up like having to really baby it. Well, I mean, those are probably the two most popular sizes, right? And those are typically what every brand is going to blend off of. So, like Boofy, for instance, right? When I talked to Matt Booth at Room 101, and that was our first interview that we ever did with somebody from a brand on the channel, way back when we first started in 2021. He started talking about how he usually blends off of a Robusto and a Toro. The Toro so that he can size up to a 660 if he wants, and he likes it. The Robusto so that he can size down to a Lonsdale, which is typically between a Lonsdale and a Lancero, the smallest that he goes with Room 101. So it's like most blenders, I feel like, are going to use those as the linchpin to move into smaller and bigger sizes, right? Then you have people like Kyle Giles over at Warped, who they love their Corona Gordas. Like P. Johnson's another one with Tatuaje, right? Like love the Corona Gorda size. You can tell Willie Herrera's another one. Loves the Corona Gorda, the Herrera Estelis. You usually always see them in Lanceros, in Corona Gordas. And then seldomly will he finally release something in a 660 or a Toro, right? So Sorry. Next comment. So I think that Peter over at Cigars Unbanded, I think that he's dipped into it a little bit. You can check out his reviews, I believe, on Instagram. I believe that Cigar Carpenter as well dipped into the Lancero set. I think that Carpenter did videos on it, if I'm not mistaken. Before we head out of here, I will look that up. Because I like talking about and plugging all the other fellas. And I already sent a link to for Sal's channel, A-Perf. He's going to be our guest tonight. But I believe that Carpy did do the Saka Lanceros. He's been doing a nice job with all of his videos, man. Okay, so no, he did not post it. At least not that I'm aware of. But I'm pretty sure I saw one of them on Instagram from the Unbanded crew go through some of the Saka Lanceros out of that pack. It's hard, right? Because not a lot of people like Candelas, I guess. I don't know. I'm a fan. I'm a fan from certain brands. You know, I like Roma Craft's Candela. I like Illusione's Candela. I think that the Holy Lance and the CG4s and all those are solid sticks, man. Yeah, no, thank you, Scotty. I appreciate everybody rolling in. We're going to get out of here for right now, but we'll be back on at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time tonight with the infamous Smoke Show. And we'll have Sal from A-Perf on to join us. And I will see you all then. I don't know. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. So hopefully he's a talker. You know, that'd be fun. It'd be nice. We'll see, though. But yeah, I'm going to take the dogs with the wife. We're going to take them on a little walk right now to the park before the sun is completely down. And then I will be back in T-minus 3 hours, so to speak. 3 hours and 12 minutes, right? So thank you all so much. Once again, happy, healthy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday to you all. Thank you for joining me so much for the last hour. Patreon, Discord, if you ever need to reach me, the website's up, so you know where to go for that. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all a little bit later on tonight or in the very near future. Thank you all so much. I'll see y'all later. And next time that we do this, I'll have an intro and an outro video. I just put it together last minute, so I apologize for that. But I'll see you all soon. Have a good one. Later.